Hello, everybody, and welcome to ECL Pro Action every Tuesday. And I'm lucky enough to be joined by an absolute legend today, my normal right hand man. It's good to be back, Brandon, as we're here to cast some great games in ECL Pro.
It's been too long, my friend. It's just been too long. We're finally back together in the booth. And what better occasion than ECL Pro Action? These games are always so fun to cast, and we have two banger matchups here tonight. Can't wait to get going with you, my friend.
Banger to say the least. So let's look into today's games and see what's going to be played in ECL Pro here at Sports Gamer. GG and Brandon, there is some monster hockey games running down today.
Oh, yeah, we've got some great games here, and a lot of teams that are going to be playing newer teams here in the ECL Pro Division. You see Leia and Valco, two teams that are going to be interesting game. Leia coming down from the Elite Division after being demoted. HV71 coming down from the Elite Division after being demoted. But the game that I am really excited for, Hawaii Hockey versus Brynäs, that is going to be so fun to watch. Two teams that are trying to ascend into the playoff conversation after missing last year, and two teams that really could use that good start to help their chances at the latter stages of the regular season.
And then the game that we are going to get to first as well, and they're from Group 2, Hawaii Hockey going against Brynäs. And this head-to-head matchup is going to be a good one. Let's take a look at the latest results from around the league before we take too deep dive into this one here, Brandon. And a lot of OT hockey games on there.
Yeah, a lot of close hockey games early on. You're seeing some familiar names that we saw last year kind of get knocked down a little bit. Golden Knights, who were a 1 seed, splitting with Brynäs, who we are going to see here in just a little bit. You see Pridati Shumatov Esports splitting with Jer Gordon, who was a playoff team last year. Some of these newer teams are starting to kind of ascend themselves. And Lime, you go back to last season in the winter season, that was a pattern that we saw, a changing of the guard in the pro division, a lot of new blood being infused in this division. That continuing here so far this season.
And you know what? That's the thing me and you love most, isn't it? Is every game in Sports Gamer matters. It doesn't matter if you're at the top, at the bottom, as you can jump ship in a hurry as we pop over to standings at Group 1. And we're going to take a look at Purification a little bit later on the left-hand side of the board. Our friends over at Lulea Hockey right behind them. And as you drop down, you got to go pretty far down there over, and you find Deadly Phantoms, HV71. A lot of experienced teams on the right-hand side as Arctic as well in 14th. We're going to see a little bit later.
Yeah, we're going to see Arctic a little bit later, but I think another one that's really surprising is Bro at that 15th spot. They have been a team that's been a staple in this pro division for a while. I think a team that a lot of people think could maybe make that jump up to the elite division if they have things go their way. They made the playoffs last season, got all the way to the second round as a #1 seed, but were bounced by Tutora in the quarterfinals, who were an 8 seed and ended up making it to the elite division by winning the championship. So Bro, the Vengeance Tour, not off to a hot start. And like you said, Lime, very surprising to see some of those more experienced teams on the right side of this board rather than left early on.
Yeah, we got to actually call Tortoret yesterday in Elite, myself and Sin, and it is surprising to see Bro, as you said, best name in the game, but tough positioning in 15th in Group 1. But let's take a look over at Group 2 as well here, Brandon, as we have the teams that are at hand today. Number 1 is Polsky Boys. They are putting on a show with the Golden Knights. And then you have Hawaii Hockey sitting in 3rd place, who we're going to watch today, sitting at a strong 5-1. They've been playing great hockey so far, and you don't have to go too deep to find Brynäs as they sit in 5th here, Brandon.
Yeah, and these are two teams that really need that good start. Both teams that missed the playoffs last season. Hawaii Hockey, they've been trying to get their way into that level. How about this line? We've been calling them for a while, but Hawaii Hockey, this is their 5th season in the pro division, and they are still looking for that first playoff appearance. While for Brynäs, they were in the pro division last season as Synergy Hockey after winning the light division. Missed, didn't have the campaign they were looking for, get that partnership with Brynäs IF, and now are looking to make a mark here in this pro division by getting themselves back to the top. These are two teams that could really use a big series win to ascend themselves into that top group just a little bit further than they are.
Yeah, they've been trying for quite some time, and now we've got our head-to-head team matchups coming to you. Hawaii Hockey against Brynäs IF. And Brandon, how about that penalty kill percentage there for Hawaii Hockey?
Yeah, and that penalty kill is going to be massive here against a Brynäs team that is 50% on the power play. Arguably one of the best power plays and more electric ones in the league so far. They are tied for first in the entire pro division with that power play mark. So that special teams battle, when you see Hawaii Hockey take a penalty, maybe going to be interesting to see that tested against a really strong front on the opposite end in Brynäs on that special teams.
And then we'll take a look over at our lineups here this evening for these squads. Hawaii Hockey coming through with its Poro at center, Bertzi on the left wing with Messin Toitanu on right wing, Jarl on lefty with Masi Papi on righty, and Arton between the pipes for Hawaii Hockey. And you pop over to Brynäs. Cinder is going to be taking on the dot. Forsberg on the left wing with Buffy supporting him on the right hand side. Saprun on lefty, Norris on righty, and Busa in between the pipes for these squads. And we've got our gorgeous head-to-head matchups as usual. And take us through our centers here, Brandon.
Yeah, you got Poro for Hawaii Hockey, and you have on the other side Cinder. And Poro's going to be an interesting case. He has stepped in very well for this Hawaii Hockey team since coming over from Memento. He's not a guy that's going to light up the scoreboard, but a very, very solid two-way forward. Comes in with 17 takeaways, just 28 giveaways. While for Cinder, one of the returners from that Synergy Hockey team, he has a lot of chemistry with Buffy on that forward line. He is going to be a guy to really look out for, to drive the play and make things happen for this Brynäs squad.
You can totally tell by the 19 apples on the season as we plop over and take a look at our wingers head to head. Is, of course, look at the amount of shots there on the team of Hawaii Hockey. 29 shots from the right-hand side, and Buffy as well with 30 for Brynäs. So obviously a lot of offense coming from that right-hand side, like you said, Brandon.
Yeah, and the right wingers are really the ones that are not just pounding them on, but both of them taking advantage of it. And it's going to be really interesting to see Bertzi and Buffy. They're on the same side, left wing, right wing. These are two guys that are very experienced, have been successful in the past. Buffy had 43 points last season, while for Bertzi, he actually led this Hawaii Hockey team and was top 20 in the pro division in points with 59. And keep in mind, Bertzi had Yurska on his right wing last year. So it's not like he was playing with a bunch of guys that didn't know how to put the puck in, and that Bertzi was just that good. So that right side battle that you're going to see between Bertzi and Buffy on the wing, that could be one to look out for, and either of those guys could make the difference for their team today.
They definitely can. And the guys that are going to be shutting it down on the backhand side of things, obviously, the strong defenders here for both sides. And these guys love to get in front of the pucks. It's almost like having extra goaltenders out there, Brandon.
Yeah, the goaltender absolutely loves when you have those defenders in there, making their job just a little bit easier. When you have guys like Bertzi and Buffy on the other side, you need to be able to block some of those shots and take advantage of that position that you have. Make your goaltender's job just a little bit easier. But I think the biggest thing here to watch out for, look at Masi Papi, 7 points in 6 games on that right side. That is not even on the same side as Bertzi, so you're seeing him be the guy that really carries it and quarterbacks this offense. Look out for him at that right D spot to generate a little bit of offense.
And then the goaltenders in between the pipes, Arton and Busa, and it is going to be Arton's first game here coming out of the dark for Hawaii Hockey. And then on the other side, Busa is a little bit more seasoned this season.
Yeah, a little bit more seasoned this season, but it's interesting. These are two goalies that have not necessarily played a lot or have not had the most success. Busse, he has been a little bit struggling this season, but he's a guy that has some experience, could really step in well. Well, on the other side, I mean, you look at Arton, he has not played much this season. It's been Jackson Rules that has played before today, but once again, has a lot of experience. Played for Prestige last season in the light division, 83.39 save percentage, his first pro division game with his new team, and he's been with Hawaii Hockey in the past, all the way back in ECL 12. So his return, we'll see how he does against a really capable Brynäs squad on the other side.
Definitely capable is the word to use, I would say, in those goals against average. Obviously going to want to be tightened up on the Brynäs side there by Busa, and what a better time to do it is Brandon, we called elite yesterday, and goaltender on the left-hand side, he struggled hard in his first 2 games. I can't remember who exactly it was, but he came out with back-to-back shutouts. So, just because you're sitting with the goals against average like that doesn't mean you can't turn it up at any time.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Every series is different. Every team you play against has a different style. You may have that one day where you do struggle, but there's no better feeling than being able to turn around the next time you're out there.
As we start off here today, Hawaii Hockey going against Brynäs, and there it is. Puck's brought in D to D. That one shot on, tipped through, and almost finds a way to the back of the net, but puck shot on, in behind the net. Out front, that one's going to be blocked. Great job here by Brynäs to get in front of the pucks. We talked about the blocked shots, Brandon, and they're coming out already.
Yeah, you're already seeing clogging, collapsing in front of the goaltender. That's going to be a key to look out for today.
That one shot on, goes over the net over the left-hand side, and it is going to be Brynäs, or Hawaii Hockey coming out with it in a big fashion. As that one bumped off on the right-hand side and wrapped around. Brynäs going to come out with it. Buffy. He didn't like what he saw, so he wrapped that all the way back around to Sabremski, and he's going to dump that one all the way down quickly. It moves his Brynäs up the ice. Over onto the right-hand side is that one picked off there by Mass, and he goes behind the net for Yarrow, who moves it quickly up to Itzboro. Here's Bertzi. That one's dropped. Good puck support here by Hawaii Hockey to pick that one back up, and they take possession and move it around the outside. Here's Bertzi looking for the wraparound. That's good defense, but better defense picked up by Hawaii Hockey to keep that puck in, Brandon.
Yeah, in Hawaii Hockey, the defense, that's been the big reason they have gotten off this hot start this season. They have really shored up on their own end. They're trying to do that here against a Brynäs team that loves to cycle it around the offensive zone.
Here's Masi Poppy out of the Hawaii Hockey end as he looks for the cut to bring it over the line, but they're offside.
And so far, I'm pretty back and forth. You kind of get the feeling that it's been a bit of a feel-out period before these two teams, and you kind of usually get that in the first 10 minutes before things break open, but both teams getting some opportunities so far as well, so going to be interesting to see who can break this thing open first.
Here's Forsberg coming out for Brynäs in the dark-colored jerseys. There goes Hawaii Hockey out. Jarl looking for a cut play along the line. We saw a lot of dump and chase yesterday in a lead, and not so much movement in over the line. We'll see if we get that in pro today. Is Forsberg sends that one over to Buffy. Buffy, good drop to Eassinder. Eassinder on the left-hand boards, looking to cycle that one down low, but it's intercepted by Hawaii Hockey. They've been great in the defensive zone so far. Here's Masi Poppy coming out with it. He's going to streak down the right-hand side. Brings that towards the middle, and Eassinder takes that one off the shin pad and moves it ahead to Forsberg. Forsberg into the middle as Jarl steals the puck from him as Hawaii Hockey's defense continuing to be fantastic. Here's Bertzi stealing that puck away in the neutral zone for Hawaii Hockey. It's Poro picks it up in puck support and sends it back to Jarl, who's trying to rip that on. He's being watched by two Brynäs players as he's got to be close and careful as both Brynäs players chasing him down near the line, and here they come 3-on-2. Forsberg backdoor to Buffy, and he puts one off the post.
Most dangerous chance there for Brynäs, having the numbers just a little bit off on that pass, but giving a lot of credit to Masi Poppy being back there to kind of throw that off.
Here's Buffy. As Buffy brings that one over the line, poke checked off, and it's rung around. Brynäs goes to work, high slot one-timer, goes off of the stick of Bertzi and out of play.
And you know, Lime, I know you've mentioned this a few times, but I think the story of this game so far has to be the defense of Hawaii Hockey. Brynäs, as we just mentioned, their best chance of the day right there, and even right then, Hawaii Hockey well-positioned, and it threw that play off to where they couldn't even get a shot on that. They have been very stout, and they've made it hard for Brynäs to get any quality chances.
And Hawaii Hockey's defense has been shut down. Masi Poppy and Jarl have been very, very good. Just as I say that, I give him a little bit of commentator's curse, and he turns that one over Brandon, but he's going to get a reset behind the goal line, and here he comes again. Masi Poppy throws it the length. What an area pass. He gets that one over to Bertzi, who tried to throw it out front, but it's off the backside of the net, which allows Brynäs to come out with it. Buffy up ahead over the line, but the boys are offside once again.
But that was once again the product of Hawaii Hockey making things difficult on Brynäs. They tried to break it out after the turnover, but Hawaii Hockey gets all five guys back. They're ready in the neutral zone, and it causes Brynäs to go a little bit offsides. And keep in mind with Hawaii Hockey, they don't allow many goals, just 1.5 per game. That is first in their group and tied for third in the entire division.
There's a shot off, gets robbed, and that makes sense, Brandon, off the great defense that we're seeing early here from Jarl and Masi Poppy. This one's going to be clapped down, a little bit of an Omaha play. They do get there first, looking for the pass across, but Good defense shuts down Forsberg as he came through with a pass across. So we are going to go to our first intermission, Brandon. We are all knotted up here.
All knotted up, and I guess you can't say it's not much of a surprise. Hawaii Hockey playing some really good defense, but give Brynäs a lot of credit on the other end as well. They are really trying to be aggressive to force a mistake on Hawaii Hockey. They've had a few instances to where they've done a good job of taking advantage of the turnovers of Hawaii Hockey and getting in the zone, but the issue, just no quality chances. You see not one registered shot on net. And that was with a play to where they had a 3-on-2 and had some numbers. So even though Brynäs has done a good job of forcing mistakes of Hawaii Hockey on the other end and turning it into opportunity, it doesn't matter if you don't use those opportunities and take advantage of them. So Hawaii Hockey doing a great job of, when they do make a mistake, getting back, playing defense, and that has been the staple of this team so far this season. It's continuing here so far today.
Yeah, they're showing how great it is with 0 shots from Brynäs. As Brynäs maybe just throw a few pucks on net and get Arthon to feel it as we start period number 2. This Hawaii Hockey in the white jerseys, Brynäs in the dark jerseys. You can tell your respective lineups in the bottom left and right hand corners of your screen. Is that one played out front, picked off by Mossy Poppy as he continues to be fantastic here for Hawaii Hockey. Here's Masson. He looks to bring that one out front, picked off by Supremski, and here goes Brynäs. Isindar walking into the middle, poke checked off by a good play by Bertzi, who tried to split the D, but Brynäs defense said, no, you're not getting through there that easy. Puck dumped into the left-hand corner. Versed onto the puck is Brynäs. They play it out front, and that's a big goal for Forsberg as the pass through the blue paint right onto his twig, and he buries no mistake.
And give Brynäs a lot of credit, just continuing to stick at it. And it all started with a great defensive play in the neutral zone. Bertie trying to fly the neutral zone, tried to split the 2 defenders. They closed the lane and it turned into that chance on offense. And they move it around from behind the net all the way to the middle in the slot on that pass right there, as you see over to JF. And that is exactly what Brynäs needed. Not able to get anything on net, but here they are up 1-0 despite that.
200 IQ by Isinder to take it to the high passing area and get that one out in front to Forsberg. I'm even stunned it got through, Brandon, but a gorgeous high IQ play by the centerman for Brynäs, Isinder.
And you know something, Lime? It just goes to show you how experienced this Brynäs team is. We talked about Isinder, one of the longtime players on that Synergy hockey squad. This is a guy that has been around. He knows to make those smart plays. It's when that experience kicks in.
Second chance effort in front for Hawaii Hockey, and they're going to be breaking themselves to a power play to possibly tie this one up. As you see the call in front here, as it looks like it is going to be a tripping call. I thought that might have been second chance effort, but it was a trip. Face-off tied up, and it is won by Brynäs. They threw it down to the wrong end, though, Brando, and they finally clear that one out to center. And a minute 40 left for Hawaii Hockey's. Jarl dropped it at the line for nobody, though, as Cinder picks it up. Self-sauces. He's got Forsberg with him, throws the pass, but great defense by Mossy Poppy to get in that lane, Brandon.
This is going to be interesting because Hawaii Hockey, one of the few teams to yet score on the power play this season. They could really use one here.
Yeah, they're last in Group 2 with 0%, as Brandon said, and the penalty kill for Brynäs sitting at a strong 64. As here's Mossy Poppy walking around looking backdoor. That one slides all the way through him with 20 seconds left. Forsberg's off to the races. Drops that one for Isinder, back to Forsberg. This is going to kill the rest of the power play off as Buffy throws that one down. That's a great kill by Brynäs, and they tried to get right back in it on the forecheck, but it is Hawaii Hockey looking for the cut in there. They get it through Itsporo. Down low to Bertzi. Bertzi backhand from the wrong side of the net. And you know, Brandon, you never know where you can score from nowadays.
Yeah, you know, sometimes you can just backhand it in off the other side of the net and just kind of bounce it in off the goalie. You just never know. You put that puck on net, you just don't know what will happen. But give Brynäs a lot of credit on that penalty kill. Didn't give Hawaii Hockey a lot of options. Just one true chance on that entire power play.
Puck going to be started out by Hawaii Hockey in the offensive zone. Shot on block by not one, but 2 Brynäs defenders. Set up like a soccer wall or football. Sorry. Isinder looks through out front. That one's picked off. Mossy Poppy gets it over to Poro, and here goes Hawaii Hockey. Masson Masson on the right-hand side, looking for room to hit Poro. They get it back to the point to Masi Papi. Masi Papi didn't like what he saw, so he's curling around to the line, keeps it in, splits a couple of defenders. Look at Masi Papi walking in, and he can't find a teammate to pass to. Throws it to Masson, and the shot on is robbed by Busa.
And if Hawaii Hockey wants to break themselves open in this game, they're going to need their captain in Masi Papi to get active on the offensive end. We talked about him earlier. 6 games, 7 assists. He can be a quarterback at that right D spot. They're going to need him to get going a little bit here, and that's a great way to get him involved.
Puck is going to be brought at East Cinder into the middle. Here's Forsberg. Forsberg down low to East Cinder, in behind the net. Poke checked off, and Masi Papi over. Here's Bertzi coming in for Hawaii Hockey. They would love to get one here at the end of the second period, as we saw Brynäs come out and score early here to start the second, but they come in offside.
And Lime, you know the old expression, the deadliest goals can be in the first few minutes or the last few minutes. So the best way to counter an early goal in a period is with a late goal at the end of the period. And if Hawaii Hockey can get that, they've had the defense for the most part to match up, but they have to get the offensive production to keep with it.
That one shot on, ends up behind the goal, and we know that's dangerous territory for Brynäs and East Cinder, as he made a gorgeous pass from out there earlier in the period. As here comes Sabremski. Sabremski drops that one over to the left-hand side to Buffy. He looks across, and that one's stolen away by Masi Papi. He's been fantastic for Hawaii Hockey on the defensive side of things, and he leads charge. Puts it right onto the twig of Bertzi, and it's between the legs of Busa, and that's a big goal for Hawaii Hockey.
And we said it live, Masi Papi, he is the engine to this Hawaii Hockey offense on the back end. And how about that picture-perfect pass over to his left winger in Bertzi, the longtime duo connecting there. He just speeds his way down the left boards, coming from the right side, and just powers that pass right over to Bertzi, who's in the middle to tap that in. That's exactly what Hawaii Hockey needed, and we're all knotted up again.
You know, Bertzi's no shy to the leaderboard, is he here, Brandon? He was top 20 in pro in points last season with 59, and obviously that's why he goes to those dirty areas. Puck moved through the middle, that one backhanded in behind the goal line. Here's Masi Papi with it once again, and Brandon, the greatest thing about that goal is it started from their own end, but we got to get back into it. As here's Forsberg with a great poke check, moves up front, kicked away by Arton, but Cinder picks it up in the left-hand corner, and he wraps that one all the way to the blue line. Supremski down to Forsberg. That one ends up off escape, but Forsberg does hard work to pick it back up and throw it to Buffy, who ripped that one on, but robbed by Arton. Cinder keeps that one in and throws it over to Supremski. He's being watched closely there by Mawson. Mawson bumping him around, and he steals that one away, throws it to the goal scorer, Bertzi. Bertzi looks back across. They try to get it through. It's onto the stick of Bertzi in the dying moments, and we finish this period all knotted up at 1.
We finished period 1 knotted up at 0, and we finished period 2 knotted up at 1, like you said, Liam. And we had just said it, the way Hawaii Hockey has to respond is with a goal at the end of this period to end up feeling good about it. That's exactly what they did. And to me, the star of the show on both ends has been the amazing defense. We're seeing block shots, great positioning, and really overall, just a lack of high quality opportunities. Both goals that we have seen have been those plays where you just kind of force it to that dirty area around the net, and you get that tap in front for whoever is positioned there. We haven't seen that wide open one-timer of the space to really rip the puck on net with a little bit of room to try to beat a goaltender. It has been tough sledding for these forwards, and the goaltenders, because of that, haven't really had to be tested too much. As you get another look at that Brynäs goal that opened things up, but credit to the defenses of both of these two teams. They have been absolutely stout so far through 40 minutes.
Yeah, haven't they ever? As we get a look at the goal here, is Bertzi driving to the dirty areas with Masi Papi scoring that one and taking it off an interception from his own end, Brandon, and that's just so impressive. He's able to take the offense from his own end right in front of his goaltender and create something at the other end. It's Hawaii Hockey, Brynäs. You see the lineups in the bottom left and right hand corner of your screen. Sorry, is Hawaii Hockey here in white. And they make the cut play over the line, and they almost had it. And almost got that puck through 3 Brynäs defenders, Brando.
But once again, just a great defensive play to break that up. Otherwise, it's a grand opportunity there.
Puck over, Forsberg backhand on. And that one's going to be held on and robbed.
And you know, Lime, this is going to be very interesting because you kind of get the feeling that this is a game toward the next goal could very well be what wins. And you wonder if these two teams just keep with that defensive play or if they maybe try to break this thing open and get a little bit more aggressive, knowing with how this one's trended.
Puck brought in over the line offside, and a little bit of a slow start to this period.
Yeah, and I mean, that's kind of similar to what we saw in the first two periods where it was that slow start, but it was just that one opportunity that Brynäs had in the second period that they did take advantage of. So you've kind of just seen a lot of that defensive play continue to where not a lot's been open.
Puck over, and they score, but this one's going to be called back, I think. You see the pass across, gorgeous one-timer by Brynäs, but yeah, their forwards definitely all up in that crease.
Yeah, that's textbook goaltender interference, and that's really a shame for Brynäs because I think that's probably the best opportunity in terms of really generating a play that we've seen from either of these two teams so far today, but very obvious on that one that Arton was interfered with, didn't have a chance at it.
As we get another whistle, it's a very, very slow start to this period, but, you know, who do you think benefits from this here, Brandon?
I gotta say it's Hawaii hockey. I think they benefit because they have played so well defensively, but they've had a vast majority of the chances on the offensive end when these two teams have had opportunities. So a team that has thrived on defensive play, a slow game that has been more locked down, I think this plays right into their hands because it's similar to what they've played all season long.
Puck is in the offensive zone by Brynäs. They take a rip on, but it's blocked and taken away by Bertzi as Matson and him team together to play good defense in front backhand. As Poro gets robbed by Busa. And Forsberg, he's trying to cut through the defenders, gets it over, backhand on, and almost some more goaltender interaction there. That one would have been called back as well, I think, Brandon, as Brynäs is strong in the offensive zone. Here's Poro. Poro comes in on the left-hand side, drops that one, looking for puck support, but taken away by Brynäs. Here's Sabremski. Into Forsberg, good touch pass over tons of room, and the shot's robbed by Arton for Hawaii hockey. And here goes Jarl. Jarl trying to carry that one ahead, but it's going to be Sosterpath. And here's Easter. Oh, he threw the pass across, but there's nobody home. And we might have a breakaway for Bertzi. Oh, dancing in. He dropped the puck there, I think, for Mawson, and Mawson skated right by, and Brynäs is now off to the races. Brynäs takes it down below the goal line, looking for the cut play out front there, not able to get the pass across as that one hit the back of the net with 8 minutes to go. The game's really starting to heat up now.
I was just about to say that, Line. We started out slowly, but all of a sudden the action is ramped up 2 or 3 levels, and I think it's because you kind of get that feeling. You see just 7:57 on the clock. Obviously, both teams would love to at least get that point, but it just kind of starts to feel like pressure time where you want to break this thing open because you know that next goal, the closer that time gets to 0-0, it means the closer you get to the next goal winning this game, and both teams are eager and chomping at the bit together.
That one's going to be spun around and thrown behind. And scores! Similar goal from the first one, just a little bit higher out. And Forsberg looking like old-fashioned Forsberg with that snipe.
You said it, very similar to that first goal from Brynäs. It's JF this time that is the beneficiary of it. And how about that play over at the boards? It all started with that poke check in the neutral zone. Once again, a defensive play leading to an offensive play. Beautiful spin to create the space. Finds his man down low. And JF, right place, right time, read what he needed to have that open pass, and he buried it in the slot.
So 2-1 here for Brynäs. They had a tough period, won 0 shots, Brandon, but they've sure turned it up from then. Goal scorer Bertzi with a shot on, robbed by Busa.
And now if you're Hawaii hockey, you've got to get aggressive. We've talked about their defense, how great they've been on that end. Now you have to step up on the offensive end and get a way to find that extra goal. They're not a high-scoring team, but they need to at least get one more here to keep this game alive.
Forsberg throws that puck ahead to Buffy. Buffy to Forsberg, he scores! What a goal! His hat trick as the Bears fly over, and he deserves it for sure.
The Bears fly over, and Hawaii Hockey wants to stop them in midair. They're calling the timeout. But how about Brynäs in the past 5 minutes, Lime? 2 really well-set plays, all off of really beautiful passing. And once again, setting themselves up with a great play, just getting through the defense, right through the middle, draws that attention. All 3 defenders going to the puck carrier, and it left JF open, wide open to get that backhand in. That was probably the worst defensive play we've seen from Hawaii Hockey, a team that is typically very disciplined in their own end. That right there was a mental mistake.
Brandon, it was, but look at the stutter steps there from the Brynäs player to stop himself up, Buffy, to get the defenders to slow down. I agree with you, definitely. It was a misplay, but I don't think we're giving enough credit there to Buffy, who was able to slow the defenders down and allow Forsberg to burst through with that head of steam and, get his hat-trick goal. Great job by him, as we're starting to see that a lot more with these players stutter stepping to open up space. As puck is going to be moved around down in the right-hand corner, picked up by the goal scorer Forsberg. He has all the goals for Brynäs so far, but Hawaii Hockey needs a couple, and they're going to work. Backhand on there by Masson, and it's robbed there by Busa.
Yeah, and if you're Brynäs, you're just looking to hold on, tighten things up in your defensive end, and trust your goaltender back there in Buse to go and make some saves. But to kind of say to your point, by the way, Live, very good point with Buffy there on that move. It takes a good offensive play to cost that defensive lapse. Give him a lot of credit to draw those 3 defenders to him.
Absolutely. As they just tried to do it again there, Brandon, his player on the left-hand side, and Forsberg trying to return the favor and stutter step himself near the line, but he ended up putting himself offside. Face-off going to be one back. Masi Papi up the right to Masson. Masson being watched closely there by Supremski, who wins the battle, and Brynäs carries out. 1.5 minutes to go. Game 1 of 4 this evening here at Sports Gamer. GG is puck moved around by Hawaii Hockey. They look to go to work. It's Poro down to Masi Papi. Out pass to streak through is. That would have been sweet, like some Kovalan Lakritsi, but he wasn't able to get the pass across. Jarl over to Masi Papi. Masi Papi trying to drag that one through, ends behind the net for Bertzi. Masson with a chance. He throws it on, but it's robbed again by Busa. And ever since that first goal, he's really been on point, Brendo.
Yeah, he has been very, very sharp, especially here in this third period where Hawaii Hockey really did start to test Brynäs a little bit more with those high-quality plays and having to be more aggressive, especially being down by 2. He's been up to the challenge.
Here's Masi Papi as he curls around at the line, tries to rip that one on. It's blocked easily by Forsberg. He's doing it at both ends. And here comes Buffy. What moves? Fakes the shot. Stride deeks. What's next, Brandon? He's going to throw it down low. Eason, he's bumped off of the puck, and I couldn't agree more. And then it's up the right-hand side to Masson. Masson, Bertzi scores, and there's the stutter step, Brandon, allowing Bertzi to cut through. He's got his second.
You said it, that stutter step yet again, just making that defender bite and getting that extra space to open up the pass. That's exactly what Bertzi did. And notice, Lime, it's the experienced players that are pulling that move off every single time. Bertzi, one of those experienced guys. As you can see, he cuts through right there after that play from Masson to kind of get that little step and draw the defender. And all of a sudden, Lime, crazier things have happened.
You know what, Brandon, they say, as here it comes, it's going to be dumped in by Brynäs. That's probably going to do it for the game here. But, Brando, we're in the month of May, and we're already seeing new things come into the game. People complain and complain and complain about this game, but one thing I like to look at is how it's May and we're even getting new cuts, new plays. The players are so smart in evolving the game even this far away in May, and Brynäs showing it in 2 big goals in that game with the stutter step, and it is phenomenal to see. Here's one of Forsberg's big bangers as Brynäs, they take game 1 here 3-1.
Yeah, and I mean, that's just what makes this community so amazing, is that they always kind of find ways to innovate the game. Even though you say to complain, it's like, oh, everything's the same, it's a meta, you do the same things in the same way to get goals and create opportunities. But you know what? That's what separates the elite from the great to the good. A lot of these high-end players find ways to separate themselves and come up with new ways to create that space and to get those golden opportunities. And you saw both Brynäs and Hawaii Hockey do that, but no team benefiting more from that in this game than Brynäs. And I think you have to say, Lime, that last goal, that third goal that you thought may have been the one to separate Brynäs was the play of the day right there, because it turned out they needed that third goal to avoid this thing going to overtime, with Hawaii Hockey getting that late goal with 9 seconds left. So give Brynäs a lot of credit. It wasn't a great first period, but it's all about how you finish and all about how you bounce back. Brynäs showed up in the clutch, got those 2 goals in the third period, and it carried them to a win.
All 3 goals for Brynäs coming from Forsberg. We're going to see his first here, which was a great little fake speed wrap there. I didn't even notice that, Brando. Is Buffy sending it over to E. Cinder for the fake speed wrap, who hits Forsberg, probably why the pass was so open. As again, we talk about high IQ, and then Hawaii Hockey coming back with one where Mossy Poppy went coast to coast like butter on toast, finding Bertsy out front, puts it right on his twig, and he goes 5-hole.
Yeah, and once again, it's the experienced players that are really making these plays. I mean, Buffy, once again, one of the guys that are really experienced, and this was the play that we talked about, just that little stutter step there to get it open to JF, and he takes advantage and capitalizes once again. And, you have to give Brynäs a lot of credit. This is a team that, like we said, is looking to kind of get their way back to the top. They had a core that was in the elite division a few years ago with Leksands and with Synergy Hockey. Kind of disbanded a little bit, came back in spring 22, won the light division, didn't have the year they wanted to last season in the winter season, but here they are playing against a Hawaii Hockey team that is experienced in this division, is looking to make a statement of their own, and boy, did they come out and really answer a challenge with the way they responded in that third period after what was a relatively rough first period for them.
And Brynäs now sitting 5-4, where Hawaii Hockey sitting 5-2. So that's definitely a massive win there, Brandon, for Brynäs to push themselves into a confident spot to move themselves into game 2, where they now know they can play against this Hawaii Hockey team and beat them.
Yeah, and I think that is the thing that really gives you that confidence, is that you have played them, you have beat them, and it wasn't a fluke. They earned that game, and I think that that brings you a lot of confidence coming into this game. And if you're Brynäs, you have to remember something. You've played some really good opponents to start the season. They played Pulsey Boys in 2 games, who are at the top of this group right now, and they played Golden Knights and actually split one of those games with Golden Knights, a team that were one of the top teams in the Pro Division a season ago. So this is a Brynäs team that has shown they can play at that top level. They've shown that they can play some of the better teams in the Pro Division. It's just a matter of if they can match the offense with the defense. They did that here in this game. Let's see if they can carry over to game number 2.
We're going to have to see if they can. Take a second, grab a drink, make sure you get yourself some Kovalan Lakritsi, and we're going to be right back for game 2. We're back for a gorgeous Tuesday here at SportsGamer GG with my favorite Brandon B. Major Bigsby, and we saw Brynäs come through with such a good W. We're going to watch their stream this time.
I like that. I like that. Winner gets the view in this broadcast. And you want to talk about winners, Lime? Hey. How about this? We're not just a hockey organization here. We do football too, and not just European football, American football. The Madden Academy tournament for Madden 23, Lime. So cool to see SportsGamer getting into this.
This is great, guys. Anybody can join. Register yourself at sportsgamer.gg/Madden. They're even giving out codes. They want you guys to get in this so bad. And the winner gets to hop over to an NFL game internationally. It is just going to be 10 out of 10 stuff here at SportsGamer GG, just pushing the boundaries as usual. Is here we go. Game 2 this evening out of 4, but second to the set between Brynäs and Hawaii Hockey. Watching from the Brynäs side this time, as we will have our respective lineups pop up in the left and right hand corner of your screen for your guys' pleasure. Is Brynäs sitting as here we go. What a play by Bertsy. He starts off where he left off, didn't even let me get the intro out, with a huge play in the offensive zone to score backhand on Busa.
Yeah, and that was a mistake there by, I believe it was Supremski at that lefty spot. He couldn't get out of his own zone. Amazing pressure on the forecheck from Hawaii Hockey. As you see it on the replay right there, they were already struggling to get it out the first time, but another poke check, that time from Porto, and it led to the turnover. He puts it in on the backhand. Buse didn't have a chance to make that save. A big play for Hawaii Hockey to get the early lead.
Hawaii Hockey feeling themselves as Maasen with a rip on, and that one is saved as Arton having to feel this, or Busa having to feel this puck early.
Hey, Lime, I don't know if you can tell, but I don't think Hawaii Hockey is too happy about that last loss. They are coming out with a different type of aggression right now. You can just sense it, the urgency that they are playing with the way they're playing right in the face of Brynäs. I don't think they are prepared for this.
They were on the beach with umbrellas in their drinks last game, and that's just not the case here. As Cinder behind the net goes out the left-hand side. Here's Forsberg. Good pass to Buffy. Buffy's trying to split through, but it's Porto helping out back. Gets it ahead to Maasen. 2-on-1. Maasen with Bertzi's bumped off of the puck. Look at Cinder back there, sitting him down, and he gets that one ahead to Buffy. Buffy back door as he can't complete the pass. Jarl showing up on the back end for Hawaii Hockey. Here's Maasen over to Maasen. It's Porto back to Maasen up to Forsberg. The shot on, Bertzi the shot on, and it's Rob there. It's Hawaii Hockey going right back to work. Forsberg. Cinder. Here's Maasen. Maasen sends this one all the way down the ice. As will go for icing.
And that might have been one of the more beneficial icings I think Brynäs could have possibly asked for. The way Hawaii Hockey is playing right now, they're flying over to the ice. They're all in their face. To slow this thing down and get an opportunity in the offensive zone is huge.
Maasen doing a great job for Hawaii Hockey as he gets that one ahead to Maasen. That one's picked off. Good play, but tripped up is Bertzi. He's having a heck of a game here.
Yeah, and we talked about Bertzi. He's a guy that was amazing for this team last year, was top 20 in points in the pro division. He has shown why so far today and could very well be on that track again. And this time, he doesn't just do it by scoring, he does it by drawing a penalty, lead to a power play opportunity. But keep in mind, Hawaii Hockey yet to score on the power play yet this season. We'll see if they can change that here or if Brynäs can come up with another big PK.
Hawaii Hockey back to the power play yet to score, Brando. As they're going to work that puck out from their own zone to start things here on the power play. Brynäs sits up with an easy entry there by Hawaii Hockey. Here's Maasen at the line. Gets it over to Maasen, who comes down into the offensive zone down below the goal line on the power play. Interesting setup there, but a slap shot goes on to Cinder. He dances through, but he runs out of speed and gets bumped off by Porto. Here's Maasen. Ahead to Maasen with stride. Out front, as we know he likes to get active in the offensive zone, Brando.
Yeah, he stepped up a few times and led to their one goal in the early parts in the second period last game. Almost led to another one right there.
That one's kicked aside by Busa. And Jarl trying to hold that one in. He doesn't, but he gets it right back into the offensive zone. Back to the point. Porto covering for Jarl, sends it back down to Jarl out front as that one's stolen away by Busa as they're having quite the defensive game. As Cinder tried to play that one out front. It's going to be lost off of a couple of skates, and Hawaii Hockey's going to bring it through, but I think Bertzi was expecting a pass. They decided to go to Porto, which put Bertzi offside.
Yeah, and Lime, if you look at things for Brynäs, and that was a perfect time. I guess the game knew what I was going to say. This has a very similar feel to what we saw in the first game between these two teams, but this time it feels like Hawaii Hockey, they're not necessarily just doing with their defense, they're pairing the offensive production with it. Brynäs yet to get really any opportunities so far.
Here comes Bertzi. Bertzi streaking, pass out. It's going to be held on by Busa, and maybe that's the rule of thumb here, Brando, is both teams loving to throw those very low corner passes, even on 2-on-1s.
Yeah, because you just never know what can happen. If you have someone in the right position, you can tap it right in, or it could just hit off of someone as, once again, Hawaii Hockey with a chance.
Hawaii Hockey's really turned it on here in the first period, but don't forget, Brandon, that's exactly what happened in the last game where Brynäs did not even get a shot in period one. Here's Cinder. He gives it right away to Bertsy. Wrong guy to give it to. He's all alone. He scores. What a play there, as that one's given away right under the stick of Bertsy. He goes coast to coast there, takes it all the way through and just buries that one. Goaltender Boos ends up sliding out of the way. He just tucks it right in, Brendo.
Yeah, and how about the patience there from Bertsy on that power play? But it all started again in the defensive zone, trying to pass up to the point. Bertsy read it all the way through, picked it off like a corner on Madden 23, and it led to a breakaway play for Hawaii Hockey. I know you said it feels similar to Game 1. I said the same thing too, but with the way Hawaii Hockey is pairing it now offensively, this one feels a little bit different here for Brynäs.
I could agree. It feels a little bit stronger towards Hawaii's. Here goes Bertsy. Bertsy drops that over to Masson, who looked back for Bertsy but couldn't get it through. They find each other again with a great offensive play. Another shot on by Masson with a gorgeous toe drag, and he just tried to rip that one home.
And if I'm Brynäs right now, I am just trying to keep this thing at a 2-goal deficit. This first period, 53 seconds left. It's going to be a fast period. You just want to try to go ahead and get out of this one if you can. Get out of the zone and just keep Hawaii Hockey from scoring a third.
It's Boro down low as you just got to weather the storm. Bertsy with a shot on his Rob. Another one out front, taken away by Forsberg. And eventually gets brought out by Brynäs. Dying moments, maybe on an offensive chance. It's shut down by Hawaii Hockey. Strong defense here. And we're going to go into the first intermission with Hawaii Hockey with a demanding first period, leading 2-0.
And who else than the point getter himself in Bertsy to get those 2 goals for Hawaii Hockey, and both in very different ways. The first one being off of just a relentless forecheck from Hawaii Hockey that led to a turnover in Brynäs' own end. And then on the other one, nice job in the defensive zone, picks it off, leads to a breakaway, and they score on it. So Hawaii Hockey, it's all been based off of the defense, but the difference in this game in Game 1 is that it's leading to offense and they're capitalizing on those opportunities. That felt like that was the difference in Game 1 between Brynäs and Hawaii Hockey, is that Brynäs, they took advantage of their offensive opportunities and scored on them. Hawaii Hockey, not so much outside that 1 goal that they had in the second period, but this time, Hawaii Hockey, every chance they get, it is a grand opportunity, and it seems like every single time they have it, they are taking advantage of it and putting the puck into net, and it's all starting off of that premier defense they have displayed this season.
So we're going to get right back into period 2. That one's one back. Hawaii Hockey going to try and start this off exactly how they did last game. They are in the dark colored jerseys as Brynäs in the lights, and it's been a tough start here for Brynäs. Face off is one back. And it is going to be Brynäs who starts from their own zone. Zabremski. He dumps that one in right hand side. First onto the puck is Buffy. Gets it down. He sends it a wrap around and it's the post after he was bumped by Masi Papi. And he carries it up to Jarl. Jarl. Just walking in, saucers it into the middle as Brandon says it. You never know what can happen. We've seen broken plays, gorgeous passes. Why not throw it in there, Brando?
Yeah, you never know what can happen if you do so, and Brynäs may be trying to take a page out of that book as they're trying to get a chance, but once again,
here goes Bertsy. Bertsy all alone, he scores! Once again, Bertsy, coast to coast, making that play. It's his hat trick, Brando.
A hat trick, and it all happened the same way. Relentless play on the blue line by Hawaii Hockey. It creates a turnover, it creates a chance, and it creates a goal. And Bertsy was the beneficiary of it yet again. And right there, we see it. Just trying to pass away from the point with Zabremski. He didn't have it. It was great pressure from Hawaii Hockey from the 2 wingers, and it created that breakaway chance for Bertsy, and he buried it.
Puck back, gets brought in. Here's Buffy. Buffy back to the point, as Brandon said it. This feels a little bit different from the Hawaii Hockey side of things. Here's Cinder. A front shot on. That's a good save there by Arthon. And we might have a breakaway again for Bertsy, looking for number 4. He scores! What a play. There's Bertzi again, Brandon getting through.
And how about the saucer pass to make that play happen, splitting the 2D right between them to get that pass over the Bertzi. I believe that was Mawson that got that pass off, and boy, oh boy, what a pretty pass it was to get that right on the tape of Bertzi. Got him that breakaway, and man, he might be leading the league in goals after this game. Absolutely unreal what he's doing. We still have half of the game to play.
Yeah, and don't blame Brandon. That was one of the 3 yellow colors on the ice that EA gives us. Why they choose 3 yellows to make that pass is beyond me, Brando. But, you know, it's the game we play. It's 4-0. Hawaii Hockey here. 13 minutes left in period 2. And up comes Norris. Sabremski back to Norris. Touches that one up to Buffy, who looks into the middle, but it's Boros there to help out. Here's Mawson coming through. That one's poke checked off his stick. Forsberg comes back to help out. Up to Buffy. The pass across is onside. He's Cinder. Here goes Bertzi again. You gotta be holding your breath or clenched up when that guy gets the rock if you're a Brynäs fan at this point here, Brando.
Yeah, he's been absolutely unreal, and you're keeping constant eye on him right now if you're Brynäs. But the thing is when you're down by 4, you still have 30 minutes to play, you have to find a way to open things up offensively. And as great as Hawaii Hockey have been on the offensive end, they have been arguably more impressive on the defensive end, just allowing nothing for Brynäs to get themselves back into this game.
Brynäs down by a whopping 4 goals. Not able to really get any momentum going here, Brandon, for themselves. Every time they do, it's picked off by Bertzi, and he's gone.
Yeah, and I think it's just a product of a lot more mistakes being made from Brynäs, but it's not necessarily just from mental errors. A lot of it is just from Hawaii Hockey forcing those mistakes.
Ethander rips it on Jarl. You know, you got to tip your cap to Jarl picking that puck up there for Hawaii Hockey and pulling it back.
Yeah, and Jarl, he is an underappreciated piece, arguably, to this Hawaii Hockey team. The way he is so stout back there defensively, always in the right position.
Here's Boro. Sends that one ahead to guess who? Bertzi is poke checked off. Jarl's there in good puck support, but the great defense there. Supremski jars it loose for Brynäs. There goes Hawaii Hockey. Poro. That one touch passed over to Mossy Poppy getting into the charge. Nice door, and Mossy Poppy almost Regs-esque when he comes into the zone on that side, Brandon. And here we go the other way. He's Cinder. Oh, he's robbed. Forsberg right on the doorstep gets robbed by Arton.
And we said it earlier, Arton, no games played this season. That might change if he's making saves like that. Absolutely huge.
He gets another one as that pop flies over in behind the net. Mossy Poppy's there to help out. But it's Forsberg with it for Brynäs. Poke checked off by the great defense of these 2 strong defenders in Jarl and Mossy Poppy. As the ref put their whistle away as we get the 3-minute mark here in period 2. Cinder poke checked off by none other than Bertzi, and here he goes. Bertzi bounce passes that one along the wall. Cute little play by him as he looks to get a pass back, but it's pulled away by Norris. Buffy ahead to Forsberg. Jarl on the back check coming right back from that corner. He says, hey guys, that's my rock. Picks it up and he starts the breakout through to Bertzi. Bertzi over the line. He's got an option, but Cinder from behind picks his pocket, and it's 3-on-2 for Brynäs. Here comes Buffy, shot on, looking for Forsberg on the doorstep, but a great save by Arton.
And Buffy, he just took advantage of the one opportunity he had. There was no passing lane there. All he really could do to get a chance was to put that puck on that and hope that it would rebound over to his Sindar in the slot. It didn't. It was great defensive positioning by Hawaii Hockey to take that pass away and limit the options.
Here we go again. Bertzi trying to get around the defender, Sabremski, but a good job by him, but he cuts to the net looking for a pass. Mawson with a big rip, and that's robbed by Busa. Another big save by Busa off a backhand by Mawson with 2 huge opportunities in the dying moments of the second period, but because of Busa's big plays, Brando, we still sit at a whopping 4-0 for Hawaii Hockey.
Yeah, and it could have very well have been 5-0 if not for Busa, as you mentioned their line. But the man on your screen, the story of this game in Birdsey, 4 goals. He has been absolutely everywhere. All of them virtually breakaways in this game, which is something that you do not often see, let alone at this level. But he's done the breakaways and created them in a lot of different ways, off of the forecheck, off of turnovers in the defensive zone, and has even done so just by being able to sprint down the ice and getting a beautiful pass hit right to his tape. Hawaii Hockey, they have all scored breakaways, but they are doing it in different ways, and it is all starting from the magnificent play on the defensive end, and Brynäs so far has had no answer for it.
No, and how about the, what do we call this? The Birdsey show here, Brando? Is this guy's been absolutely on one, but, it's not from easy passes. He scored 2 goals from interceptions in the defensive zone. So, you got to be scared of Birdsey no matter where he is on the ice. As we start period 3, Brynäs won game 1, but it's all Hawaii Hockey here in game 2. It's Hawaii Hockey in the dark jerseys, Brynäs in the lights. You saw your respective lineups in the bottom left and right hand corner, thanks to our magician Guido behind the scenes. Yes, he does that in his spare time. Puck over the line into the middle, and Maassen, he's going to curl around in between the hash marks. Down low, Cinder. That one's bumped off his stick, and Mossy out to the middle. It's Poro. Guess what? Birdsey's gone again. Birdsey scores! Number 5.
You called it the Birdsey show, but how about we just title it Breakaways with Birdsey, because that has been the specialty so far today. And there's another way he created a breakaway off of the Omaha, just jetting his way through. That, my friends, is a set play right there. You can tell it right there. He jets his way through. You see the beautiful slap pass there by the defender, and that was well executed by Hawaii Hockey at its finest. Another assist from a defender on a breakaway. And here's another one.
He scores again. I guess we've certified it's breakaways with Birdsey as he gets a double hat trick here tonight.
6 goals for Birdsey, and I mean, I have to be honest with you. I know we're praising Birdsey, but I have to feel for Buse in this game. He is going to be seeing Birdsey breakaways in his sleep. He's tried everything he could to stop spread eagle, regular positioning, and it just hasn't worked. Hawaii Hockey making a statement, and it's all on the skates and stick of Birdsey at that left wing.
Well, it is definitely breakaways with Birdsey as he's got the puck again on his stick. Over across, it's Poro, and what a save by Busa, showing a little bit of flash and flare on that glove save.
Showing a little bit of flash and flare, and it's nice to see him do that with the way this game has gone. And Hawaii Hockey maybe not done yet. They might want an extra point with this touchdown.
Here's Birdsey. There it is, and he gets robbed. As I'm interested to see if we're going to get 7. Lots of time on the clock for Birdsey to get another one. As Norris, nice moves, dancing through up front. The puck is whipped on, and here we go. Birdsey's off to the races, picks it up, throws it out front. It pops loose to Jarl, who goes quickly to Mossy Poppy. Mossy Poppy on the left-hand side to Jarl, tipped in front by none other than Birdsey, but here goes Buffy for Brynäs. He's forced at the line as Hawaii Hockey, a different team here. They've come out strong. They're going to get a power play as that was a careless hit there by Buffy way outside of the play. And that one goes through the middle. It's picked up, but a power play nonetheless for Hawaii Hockey.
You know, I just did a little bit of a stat check. I'm not sure if Birdsey got a goal or not in the first game, but not even counting goals in the first game, this game alone puts him at 13 goals this season. That is second in the entire ECL Pro Division.
I think he got 2 in game 1. I'm not joking. I think he was both goals.
Yeah, so he leads the league now in goals from this series alone.
I'll have to get a check from our amazing producer, but I do believe that he got both goals in game 1. As that one's dropped down, 11:30 left to go in period 3, and he I don't know, he woke up today and had some strong Wheaties dripped in Kovalan Lakritsi, obviously, is give him the extra boost here at sportsgamer GG ECL Pro spring season. It's Forsberg. As Bertzi, here he goes again, walking through on the breakaways, gets 7, so he got 2 in game 1, confirmed from Guido, and he's got 7 here in game 2. That's 9, Brando, in 2 games for Hawaii Hockey. He is on one.
And what's crazy is that he had 7 in the first 6 games of the season, and now all of a sudden, Bertzi with 9 goals in 2 games. Ladies and gentlemen, you are seeing a performance of the ages from Bertzi right now. Absolutely insane.
Like, I'm curious, has this ever happened in ECL? Has 7 goals been scored by one player in ECL Pro ever in 6v6? I'm curious if it's ever happened. As this one throws up, it's Porto. Porto looking in front. Bertzi is... You can actually physically see his sticks on fire if you look close enough, as he's got the puck in the corner up front. It's Porto looking back for... Oh, it's not Bertzi. Okay, it's Mawson. Mawson gets one here, as that's going to be 8.
Hey, Mawson can score goals too, okay? He had 6 goals coming in to the series himself, actually led Hawaii Hockey in points before Bertzi just decided to burn the building down with the amount of goals he's scoring, how hot he has been. But how about the set play there from Hawaii Hockey? Just beautiful quick passing in a really tight space. Got it over to Mawson, who buried it in.
It's Hawaii Hockey trying to keep that one onside, and... Yeah, McSaven in the chat saying, give it to Bertzi. Yo, you're right about that one, buddy. You definitely want, if you're a fan of Hawaii Hockey, you want Bertzi having the rock right now. 19 shots to 5 for Hawaii Hockey as Buffy comes in for the winger win for Brynäs. Over on the left-hand side, it's poke checked away, and Mawson ahead to Mossy Poppy. Mossy Poppy streaks around Supremski, throws that one out front, shot on rebound, and Bertzi was there, sniffing around for number 8, but not able to find it. It's held on by Busa.
In line, if we needed any more context just to show how impressive this is, Bertzi has more goals than Brynäs has shots as a team.
Yeah. Just to give you guys an idea of the Bertzi breakaways with Bertzi, the Bertzi show, late night with Bertzi, after hours with Bertzi, whatever you want to call it. You can ring him off all day long as the new face of Kovalon Lockertzi. I don't know, but he's got 7 here tonight for Hawaii Hockey. He's been fantastic, Brando.
Yeah, but you know, as great as Bertzi has been, I don't think it can be lost. The defensive play from all 5 players of Hawaii Hockey, as well as the goaltending from Arton, who makes another big glove save right there.
Yeah, you know, this game changes if the puck goes in on Arton. You're absolutely right. That puck goes in early. It's a whole new hockey game. But the defense there of Jarl and Mossy Poppy, we talked about them a ton in game 1, and they've just been great here as well. You're absolutely right. But it's definitely hard to keep your eyeballs off of Bertzi right now. Supremski looks into the middle. This one's gone off, and it's Porto. Looks down to the right-hand corner. Bertzi fighting Norris. Gets some help from Porto. Porto gets bumped off by the center East in there. Porto gets it back. Good poke check there by Norris. They're going to go in behind the net for a battle. Gets it up to Forsberg, the East Cinder. And we got a delayed penalty on the play here coming to Hawaii Hockey.
Yeah, and you know, if you are Brynäs, you just want to try to get one on the board, not going to get the result that you wanted to get in terms of a win. But hey, you got 2 out of 4 points. You just would love to maybe get that goal on the board to have something to feel good about here to end the day. And if you're Hawaii Hockey, you want to keep going here and keep a certain something alive that I do not dare speak here on this broadcast.
You mean I think that's what he means. As Jarl, he dumps that one up. It's onto the stick of Bertzi. Bertzi between the legs. Hold up, Brandon. Let him cook. Puck goes the other way. East Cinder. Forsberg. Touch pass over to Supremski. That one ripped on and over to the right-hand side. Norris. Buffy. Back to Norris. Norris gets hit off of the puck. East Cinder down low. They score! Brandon. I know we, you know, that's got to be on us. We'll take blame for that one.
I'll take the blame for it, but hey, you know, good for Brynäs getting one in there. And on that magic power play that we talked about earlier, you know, we didn't get to see it in that first game, but this is a Brynäs team that has been one of the best teams in the league on the power play. Actually, was tied for the best team in the league on the power play at 50%. Now they're a little bit over that, so a deadly power play strikes again, and unfortunately for the goaltender in Arton goes against him and it ruins the shutout.
Puck goes up the left-hand side to Mawson. I thought he put himself offside there, but I guess not, as Buffy's going to carry it out. And now a little bit of momentum comes to Brynäs. Puck poked away, and it's going to be taken out here. No, it's not. Forsberg keeps it in. Buffy over to Eacinder. I don't know how that pops out to Bertzi. He's got magnets in his pockets. Plays that to Poro. Back to the point to Yarrow. To Poro. Poro looks back door. That one's stolen away. We could have a breakaway as Buffy was gone, but Eacinder picked that puck off and he carries it up himself. There's Forsberg wrapping it around. He almost got around the defender, or the goaltender there, not able to sneak that one in. D-to-D pass is blocked by the good plays there of Eacinder. That puck gets brought out as still Bertzi. He's looking for number 8 as Forsberg walking in. Can't pull the backhand trigger. He moves that one back to the point. There's Norris. Norris backhand on, taken away, and here goes Bertzi. Bertzi poke checked off by Sabremski. They're watching him closely now here, Brando. And Eacinder with a chance. Drops the puck over to Eacinder again, and he can't pull the trigger either. And this one's cleared out to Elise center ice. We'll get our final penalty of the game with 5 seconds to go.
And, you know, give Brynäs some credit. They showed some fight here in the last few minutes, had some really good opportunities, but maybe one pass too many on a couple of them. They had a 4-on-2 on the possession before that, to where it maybe looked like they almost were thrown off by the amount of numbers that they had, with 4 guys being on the rush and just 2 defenders. Overall, just dominance from Hawaii Hockey. Give Brynäs some credit. Played well at the end of this game, but not enough to make the difference.
Yeah, the last 10 minutes was probably their best hockey, Brando, as they were able to shut down the scoring barrage here from Hawaii Hockey. They're going to take the W in game 2. They fell in game 1, 3-2, but commanding win in game 2, 8-1.
And, you know, I think that if you had to ask people coming into the series what they would expect, I think that a split would probably be one of the more popular answers, because these two teams are pretty evenly matched with one another. We saw a very different game 1, however, from what we saw in game 2. Game 1, things were very slow and logjam. There weren't really a lot of prime opportunities for either team, and you just kind of saw Brynäs get that one little push in the third period where they had 2 goals in 5 minutes, and that was what separated them for the win. In this game, Hawaii Hockey started out firing at all cylinders, and it never really stopped until, as you mentioned, Lime, about the last 10 minutes there of this third period. So for 50 minutes, it was just an outright onslaught from Hawaii Hockey, led by that man right there in Bertzi, who seemingly had whatever he wanted in this game on the offensive end. But as we mentioned, it all started with the defense of Hawaii Hockey. This right here is why they are the 3rd best team in goals allowed per game in the entire Pro Division. They smother you in your own end. They can forecheck. They can stop you when you are trying to cycle it around, and that's what Brynäs loves to do. They did not get to do that in this game, and you see the fruit of the defensive labors of Hawaii Hockey turns into an 8-1 victory.
And you can't really blame any goaltenders in this one, Brandon,
No.
as we do know it was the breakaway show, as it was breakaway after breakaway after breakaway as we're seeing them here. That one a little bit of a broken breakaway play, but regardless, you can't be giving up 6 a game, Brandon.
Yeah, you can't give up 6 a game, and I think that that is something that Brynäs is going to look back on and really, really be disappointed with themselves on, especially considering I don't recall one breakaway that they gave up during that first game, and in this game to all of a sudden give up 6. Give Hawaii Hockey credit. They changed up their pace a lot. You could just feel that they were a lot more aggressive in this game. Maybe they got caught sleeping a little bit in game 1. It's not for me to judge on that, but I do know this. The aggression level that they had in game number 2 compared to game number 1 was a massive difference, and it just looked like Brynäs never really was able to become comfortable with that. They were never really able to adjust to it, and by the time they really did start to get things going, all of the momentum was in favor of the black and green. They were already up by 3 or 4 goals, and they just were never able to find that counter response. So that aggressive play style from Hawaii Hockey coming out, just throwing power punches from the start, that is what made the difference in this game, and it led them to a win.
Yeah, and it was a strong win at that and a fantastic answer game nonetheless, Brandon, from Hawaii Hockey after coming out 5 wins, 1 loss coming into game one and taking that L. They definitely came out with a chip on their shoulder, showing that they are one of the top teams here in the division, and rightfully so. And speaking of top teams in the next or in the division, we got Purification coming up, going against Arctic in our next head-to-head. Brando, this is going to be a great one. You thought the first two were good. This next two is going to be fantastic. Take a moment, gather yourselves. Don't go anywhere because me and Brando got 2 big games coming right up.